Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for attending this webinar. Today is Thursday, January 10th, 2014, and this is the Quote Roller Pricing Table and Catalog Overview. In this webinar, we'll go into further detail on how to use the pricing table, the catalog, and configure them for your proposals and for your clients. We will have a live Q&A session at the end of the presentation, but we do have Spencer in the background answering some questions as well, and you can use the GoToMeeting questions box to do that. But please note, this is for the pricing table and for the catalog overview. My name is James, and I'm the Customer Support Manager here at Quote Roller. And what I'm going to do is kind of show you a couple of different things, and we'll go ahead and jump right in. So first of all, here's an example of a fully configured and set up pricing table that you can set up with in your account. And we can show how about change the colors of the headers and so forth. We have options for images. And we'll also talk about using optional items and quantity editable items and all a bunch of different things within that. First, here's we're on our website, which is quoteroller.com, and we have a lot of great information out here, including our pricing information, templates, and our blog. One thing I do recommend is to check out our blog from time to time. We have a lot of excellent content and help you with how you want to send information to your clients. I'm going to go ahead and log right in. So here we are now at the dashboard. Now, for some of you, this will be a refresher. For some of you, this will be new. But we'll go through different parts of the application today and talk about everything that has to do with the pricing table and the catalog. So first, I'm going to go into templates real quick here. And in templates, if you have not created your own templates yet, this is something I certainly would recommend that you do in order to help you save some time over the long run. But there's a couple different options in here that we want to talk about the pricing table. So first, underneath Edit Content, and then the section that I have a section here called Fees. We have this pricing table that I have added. And within the pricing table, we have a couple different options. First, if you're using a catalog price list, you can automatically have it filled out. If you do use that option, we'll talk more about that. Also, we have the two different types of the table layouts, and this is the reason why I want to take you in today. First is we have the default layout that looks like this. So you have the pictures and you have the full headers up there, and this one is more configurable if you need to make any changes or colors and so forth. So that's the one that we'll still be using for today. The other one is the simple layout, and that's what this one looks like this. You don't have the options for the pictures. And you don't have all the extra headers and fields up there. So it's up to you how you want to do that, but we certainly recommend the first one because it has more of a flexibility with that. So once again, that's a pricing table. Add your pricing table and your different options there. I'm going to hit cancel real quick here because I don't want to make any changes. The other thing that we want to do in templates is under change design. And in here, of course, is where you can change the look and the feel of the web version, the PDF version of your proposal. But if you scroll all the way down, you'll have this option here called Table Headers. Now, this is where you can, for the pricing table that you're going to use, you can define the text, the color of the text that you're using, and the background color of the header itself. And then you also have the options to change the font if you want to change the headers for that. So I'm going to go ahead back to my template real quick here. So once we have the template, like I said, you take some time, set up your template, and that's the thing is you want to use templates or create your templates in order to create your proposals. Yes, you can create your content as you create a proposal, but for long-term use of our system, definitely think about using templates. So I'm going into catalog now, and this is one of the main focuses for this webinar. And the catalog, of course, is how you define the information that you're selling to clients. Now, we have our Quote Roller clients. There's a lot of different companies and organizations out there who use their software for a various number of different reasons for creating proposals and different ways of setting the catalog up. And I'm going to break this down for you and explain to you how this is used. So first, underneath the catalog, we have three different types of item. We have services, we have products, and we have descriptions. So under service right here, I'm going to click on Add New. And a service is defined as a name, a price, a quantity, and a unit. And a unit is a way to define what you're selling. So you can do this by per hour, per day, per service, per page, for example, lots of different ways. We also have a description box they can fill in to describe this. This is something I recommend as well. Next is we have a product. And a product is defined as a name and a price. There's no units associated with that in a description. A subscription is defined by as a name, a price, and a period. And the difference between a subscription period and a service unit is that a subscription is defined as an ongoing type of scenario after the original quote is over. So, for example, I was a real estate consultant or help people set up their websites, and I had a subscription in here called Monthly Website Setup that I charge my users or my clients $50 per month. And this is a really great way to help split this information out on the pricing table. Along with each of the 3 different types of items that you can also create categories. So, for example, here you'll see I have created a category here called social media. And when I click on that, only my items that fall into this category belong to social media. Now, categories are a great way to help filter out information and to use your items faster when you're creating your proposal. Next is we have price list. And a price list is a combination of services, products, and subscriptions. Now, a price list is also defined. You can also use it if you have different deals going on or different product lines going on, like product A, product B, and product C lines. You can create your own price list in order to help yourself save some time. First is we have the name at the top. You be very descriptive of what this price list entails. You have your different types of discount types and tax types and currencies, and your different items that you can add that are based upon your services, products, and subscriptions that you've done. So definitely think about using that, and we'll talk about a little bit further about prices as well as we go forward here. Next is we have taxes. And in taxes is if you need to charge a tax for your services that you'll be sending out to your clients, here's where you can add your taxes. You can have as many taxes as you want and just want to make sure that one is set to the default, and I'll show you a little bit longer how that works. And then we have settings. And in settings, we have a couple different options that you can do. First is you can turn the images on if you want for your catalog item. So I'm going to go and do that and show you how that works. Below that, we have services units. So these are all the default services that are units, that are in your account. And if none of these work for you, you can simply add your own. And you always want to make sure that one is set to the default. Below that, we have subscriptions period. Once again, here's your default ones that are automatically included within your account. However, you can always add your own as well. Next is the pricing table sections. In here, if you wanted to, you can rearrange the services, products, and subscriptions within the pricing table. So when your client views that information, it would be in that order. And also, you can even enable or disable them if, let's say, for example, you didn't want to use subscriptions. All you would have to do is just check that right there, and then that will not be usable within your proposals. But we want to make sure that everything is selected here. Finally, we have the catalog cleanup. This is something I recommend if you ever need to go through and update your or clean up your information throughout your account. Just be very careful. Make sure you read all the instructions on that. So we talked about going into templates and making those options for the pricing table block. And then we went into the catalog and we talked about all the catalog and all the different items and things that we can do. So we really had the 2 things in order to create an awesome looking pricing table. So I'm going to go into proposals real quick here. And then I'm going to click on create a proposal. And I'm just going to fill in something in here. I'm going to go ahead and use the pricing table, or excuse me, the template that I showed you. Go ahead and type in a simple name for this is a dummy client that I have. And then I click next. Now, and here we are now within the pricing table, or step 2. Now, when you first come in here, of course, you can click on add a service, add a product, or add a subscription, and you can manually add them in if you want. Or if you've gone through the catalog and added those, you can simply use the drop-down button and click on the one that you want to add. We also have this magnifying glass here where you can click on in order to search for an item, or this is the main reason why you want to add categories to your items to help you filter out this information. So let's say, for example, we wanted to add this one. All that we would have to do is just click on that name, and it would just populate it right within that. Two great options that we have. These are pretty new within the last month or so. First is the mark as optional item. And what this will do, this will allow your client to choose this item within the proposal they're viewing. So this is a really good choice if, let's say, you have product A, product B, and product C, and you wanted your client to choose one of those. Well, mark as optional is a really good choice for that. Next, we have quantity editable. And what this will allow you to do, this will allow your client to modify the quantity while viewing the the web version of the proposal. And I'll show you another example with that. Of course, if you're the first time in using the Step 2 price, you can add your information here and click on Save to Catalog to save that information there, or you can just simply click Save. Below this, of course, you have the same thing with adding the product, and the same thing with adding the subscription. Then over on the right-hand side, we have pricing table settings. First is we have discount type. We have options for line item discount and total discount. So at total discount, this will add an option down here at the bottom, that a discount that reflects the entire table, either by a percentage or a fixed dollar amount. Or you can use line item discount, and you can set up percentage discounts based upon per line item. Next is we have tax type. We have total tax, which is down here at the bottom. And let me go and refresh this real quick so I can show you what that looks like. So if you ever needed a total tax, you can click down here, click on Add a Tax, fill in the name, and once again, you can put this in by a fixed or by a percentage rate. The other way you can do it, of course, is line item tax. And in here, you can set your taxes per specific line item based upon your catalog taxes. So a couple different ways of doing that. Also, we have currency. Of course, if you're outside the United States, or if you're sending to customers outside of the United States, of course, here you can select your different types of currencies that we have available, and those will automatically update the table. Below this, we have pricing list. Remember how we talked about in catalog pricing list where you can create those items. We have a couple different ways to do this. One, you can build out this table, right, and then click on Add to Catalog Pricing List, or you can go to Catalog and create your pricing list. So here's one we have that I've manually added. So watch what happens when I use one of my predefined pricing lists. Excuse me. And there it is. Now you can see how using price lists is a great way to help yourself save some time. Now, of course, if you in the sales type environment where you have multiple salespeople, this can definitely help them as well. So if you're the admin of the account, you can create some set up pricing lists, and then your salespeople could go through this process, select those to automatically fill in that information instead of manually adding that. But of course, as after you have a price list, you can go in there and you can modify the information as you see forth and all that type of stuff as well. You'll notice down here that I do have a product called Keyboard, and I do have set this as mark as optional and quantity editable, and I'm going to show you how that process works. So that's pretty much the pricing table, or Step 2. A lot of different ways to configure this. Like I said, though, using your catalog, adding your items in, and then building your pricing tables based upon your catalog items is the best and the easiest way to understand how to use the system. So I'm going to go here through, I'm going to finish off the rest of the proposal process here. First, I'm going to talk about Step 3, Edit, of course, and go back down to that fee section. Remember, this is where the pricing table will be displayed. And that's one thing that you do need, is a pricing table block, because this is the placeholder for the price table that you created in Step 2. Sometimes I get some questions from customers contacting me and says, how come I created an amazing pricing table but it's not showing up? Well, that's one thing. You need to have that pricing table block. I'm going to click Next here. And then, of course, Step 4 is the finalize section. We'll have all the different options and all that type of stuff. And I'm just going to go ahead in here and I'm going to do Save as Sent because I don't want to send this out. I'm going to copy this link down here and down the lower right for my name, so I can grab a copy of the URL, and then I'm going to open up this proposal as how the client would view it. Now, once again, if you haven't sent out some demo proposals to yourself as well, that is something I certainly recommend. So just you have a feeling and understanding of the system, and make sure you, in case your clients contact you about how to, you know, the look and the feel of it, how to use it and whatnot. But I'm going to go ahead into the fees section here. And then this, of course, is the pricing table that we have built. So using the template change design options, where you can change the background color of this text and the color of the text, or even the font there. We've added some images that are associated with each of these items, right? Then underneath here we have the products. So we have the keyboard. And right now you'll see here that this is grayed out and there is no subtotal. So if you use the optional item, what your client can do is check this box. It will automatically update that pricing table, and now that's included with that and the subtotal. The other one, of course, is the quantity editable option. So let's say, for example, we wanted 10 keyboards. All they would have to do is just type in their number they want, click update. The table automatically populates, and there is the updated information. So definitely think about using optional items, and definitely think about using quantity editable if those are available within your type of business plan. Really, really cool, couple different options there. I'm going to go and close out. This is about the only thing we want to talk about within this. So I'm going to go and close out of this window and go back to Quote Roller. Next, I'm going to go and talk about the settings options that we have and go down to something called labels and emails. And what this is a way for you to really customize what your information will look like. So we have a tab right here called Catalog Pricing Table. So let's say, for example, you didn't like the words name and description. Well, you can highlight that and type in your own. Let's say you didn't like services or products or subscriptions. You can modify that. You can modify the pricing and the quantity headers, the subtotal, total cost, grand total, tax, discount, and optional. Lots of different ways you can configure this specifically for your own and for your business needs. It's definitely look at the labels and emails and labels. So once again, we go from settings, the labels and emails, labels, and the catalog pricing table. A lot of great options in there as well. Plus, we also have some different things in here within the labels, so definitely take a look at that. So if you wanted to change the accept proposal button, you can modify that. Lots of other great stuff is in there. All right, well, we're going to go and open up to some live and Q&A. So if you do have questions, please use the GoToMeeting questions button, and then we'll kind of take it from there. Waiting for some questions to come in. And while we're doing that, I want to talk to you about some different ways for some self-help and different ways to learn about the pricing table as well. In your main Quote Roller account, if you scroll all the way down, you'll have a link down here called FAQ. And if you click on that link, this will take you into our new FAQ and support section. Over here on the left, this will break you down by the category within the account. So, for example, we're talking about the catalog and the pricing table. If you click on catalog, here's all the different types of options in order to use our system, including what is a service, what is a product, how to do price lists, right, how to add images, lots of different things as well. Is there plans to add a part number field? That is part of our redesign that we're doing with Quote Roller over here for the next few months. We're going to have this more of an options of the things that you can add into for your pricing table and for your proposals. We're looking for that right around the second quarter of 2014 for that. Question, does the tax also tax the services? That can be defined by your different types of taxes that you have. Let me go and show this real quick. We'll go back into this proposal. edit this proposal real quick. And we'll go back to the pricing section here. So the question was, can you tax labor? Well, that all depends on the service that you have. What I would recommend is that you use line item tax, and then you could set the taxes that are needed or not needed per specific line item. There's a question, will be able to have compounding tax, federal tax, and provincial state tax. That is something that we're also working on for a future release. Right now, you would have to add both of those taxes together in catalog taxes. Question, do you need to set up a separate price list per product if the same product is available under multi-currencies? No, because the catalog items are set uniquely. You only set up the currency when you're creating the proposal or the price list. Excellent question. Question, how do you put in icons or pictures in the description field? At this time, we do not have a way to add information to a description field. So let me go back to Catalog Services here and go and click on Edit this. So right now, what we have is this description field right here. This is text only. However, this is something that we're also working on for a future release. But if you wanted to add an image, well, first you would have to go to Catalog Settings and enable that. But then you can, and then the picture window will open up. You click on Choose File from your computer, choose it from your computer, hit Upload, and then it'll be attached to this. And we do recommend that you do have picture sizes 100 by 100 is the best way and the best look for pictures to add to items. Question is, what formats for images are supported? Those be GIFs, JPEGs, and PNGs, PNG files. Question about the URL link on image or description. Yes, if you wanted to add a a web link to the description box, you could do that, but it would not be hyperlinked. Just a couple seconds here, and we'll make sure we don't have any more questions. So once again, we talked about going into the templates and modifying the pricing table block. We talked about the catalog, going through that process and how do you add your items to the system, and then using those things we talked about, including them in a proposal in different ways of configuring your different options. We also talked about the FAQ. Once again, if you have any questions or you want to do some self-help, you can also check that out. We also will be recording this webinar and will be included within the FAQ as well. But if you do need any questions or concerns about how to use the system, if you have any feedback, please log in and use the help/questions button in the upper right-hand side, and we'll get back to you as quickly as possible. And there was a question about importing a price list. At this time, unfortunately, we do not have that option to import. You would either have to add them manually within the catalog or going through the proposal process, adding your items, and then add to catalog. Well, once again, everyone, we thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy schedules, and we hope you have enjoy Quote Roller. And as always, if you have any questions, please contact us using the help/questions button in the upper right. And we all thank you once again for your business, and have a fantastic evening. Take care. Bye-bye.